Hello everyone. So today we're going to present our autonomous learning guide, the best EFL ESL autonomous learning guide in the world. This guide was made by Pepe and me, Ruth. So let's begin. First of all, we have the table of contents in the guide, which has the introduction, the questionnaire, autonomous learning, getting to know yourself, motivation, time assessment and organization, learning tools, the conclusion, and finally the references. So let's begin.
Okay, well, first, the introduction. What is the importance of self-learning? And today, we have many activities, and it's really difficult to find a specific place or time to get a traditional learning. And for this reason, we believe that a guide is really important to have just different steps or a sequence to follow. Obviously, this sequence, it has to be very flexible. And we get some studies that show different aspects that we have to take into consideration and some advantages about learn a second language. For example, the increased problem-solving skills, improve verbal and spatial skills, short and long-term memory function, enhance creative thinking ability, improve memory, we have more flexible and creative thinking, improve and standardized test scores, better reading scores, increase obviously vocabulary and the native, not only in the second language, it's in the native language, and improve the academic performance in college. So what is the objective of this guide? Well, it's to offer to our students several tools for self-management of time to learn English. And we hope to provide those tools, which are very interactive, to have a better immersion of the language. So we're going to start showing one of these tools. So first, we have a questionnaire to identify. Okay. Yes, please.
Sorry. So yes, as my partner was mentioning before, we have a questionnaire. The intention of this questionnaire is to talk about the student, like how do they learn, their experiences, like how much do you know about yourself? Because I think that sometimes as learners, we don't really know how we learn, or we are not like aware of the things we do when we are learning. So this questionnaire is the first thing that we wanted to put here to kind of help the learner to know a little bit more about, or make the learner aware about himself or herself. So we have these questions like, ¿cómo te gusta estudiar? Because we do different things when we are studying, like we sometimes need videos or like try to find games or things on internet that help us to understand better what we are learning. ¿Cómo es tu proceso de aprendizaje? One more time, how do you do it? Like, what do you do when you're learning? ¿Cómo te sientes más cómodo aprendiendo solo, en grupos, espacios abiertos? Sometimes as the students, we like to, we learn better alone or in groups. And sometimes we need a space but that space can be a room, maybe the living room, going outside to a cafe, or maybe just in a yard, something different. ¿Por cuánto tiempo te gustaría aprender y tus metas son a largo o corto plazo? Because sometimes the students just need to learn English because they want it for the subject, but sometimes they have like different objectives in their learning. They want to achieve something else, or maybe they are traveling or moving to another country, and that's why it's going to take a little longer to do the learning. ¿Cuál es tu nivel actual y cuál te gustaría alcanzar? Um, Also, it's very important to know what is the current level and what are their goals, because that is going to help them know if it's a short term or long term, the goals they're setting. ¿Cómo han sido tus experiencias en aprendizaje de idiomas? ¿Qué problemas experimentaste? Because I think that when we know this, it is easier to kind of know what is going on, and how can you, with this guy, we want to help the students to know how can they improve their learning, and that's why we put these questions. ¿Qué es lo que más te cuesta aprender inglés? ¿Qué tipo de errores cometes? Because sometimes we don't realize too much what is going on. So in this guide, they are going to find different tools to maybe overcome those problems and achieve like all of their goals and all of that.
Now, what is the importance about the autonomous learning? Well, first, brief description of this. It's well, the learner independence, self-direction, and independent learning. And we know that this is really important because you have your own pace to do different activities, and improves some aspects of the student being more independent. So getting to know yourself, and the best way to get more autonomous, it's identify some aspects. For example, if you are more visual or kinesthetic or an auditive person, identifying these aspects, we can focus on different tasks or activities more related to our learning style. We got this chart. For example, cuando aprendo, estoy abierto a nuevas experiencias o aspectos relacionados, o analizar las cosas dividiéndolas, o hacer las cosas directamente. So, when I see an activity, I'm more like, I need to do the activity to get more involved in the learning, or I need to watch something, or I need to listen something. In that way, we can focus only on the activities that we can believe are more effective for us. Then, with this test, we need to sum up the results, and depending of this, we can use one particular tool. Then we have a second task here, and we're going to fill this information. Okay. We got 30 questions, and in the end, we can identify different learning styles: visual, grupal, kinesthetic, individual, etc. This is really handful for all the students. Then we have a couple more of these tests. So if one of these tests is not very suitable for you, you can have these two more to get more results. Then another aspect which is relevant is our personality. Not only to discover the learning style, it's about how much expressive we are in the terms of learning. So this is pretty extensive, but once you know about more your personality, you can use specific tools to have an effective learning. This is pretty extensive, as you can see. But again, if this is too much dense for you, we have a couple of more these options. So don't worry about it.
Okay, so another important thing about or when you're learning is motivation. You need to keep your motivation up all the time, because if not, you're going to get frustrated and you're simply not going to work well. So we had this part talking about motivation and how it is so important. But I think that we in the following section we have them learning tools, which is going to help you to see learning in a different way and keep your motivation up. So if you can go to the learning tools, Pepe, please. We have these questions to reflect about your own motivation, if it is extrinsic or extrinsic, um, if the levels are high, and different things. So one of the things that we are really excited for is the oh, the organize your time. Uh, Pepe, go ahead.
Okay, so one important aspect we need to consider is the time management. We get this chart to write all our activities. We have a visual planning of our week. In that way, we can manage in a better way all the activities that we can consider, and we got a chart of different what is more important to prioritize the activities. Number one is urgent and important to do it now. Then it is important but not urgent. Then urgent but it is not important, so we can delegate that activity. And finally, not important and not urgent. Sometimes we believe that we need to do something first, but actually we're not prioritizing in the right way. So these charts, we can help us to visualize that more important activities.
Okay, so now moving to learning tools. In this section, you're going to find like different ways to learn English, but not like really traditional. Because what we wanted to do was to show you that learning English, it doesn't need to be frustrating or boring. but you can find your learning in the things that you love, and that is going to help you with the motivation. So we have, for example, video platforms, video games, songs, music, um, books, apps, and in this section you're going to have a reflection time, thinking about if you thought of using this kind of tools. And what we think is really important, you have different examples of what you can find out there, that you maybe you don't always need to have like a textbook or to go to those really expensive courses, but that you can be improving your English with the things you love. Like if you love music, and go and find something, new songs, but now in English. So we added this part that is very detailed with many examples. So an autonomous learning can find like different options to learn and feel comfortable and motivated while learning. As you can see right there, all of the things, all the tools that you can find on internet. Um, and well, here's our conclusion.
Well, as you can see, we got several tools. Now it's easier to get more tools than before. And for that reason, self-learning is not only more dynamic, it's funny. And we need to use those tools. And this guide is just uh, like a reference or a sequencer to find some tips to have this kind of tools. You can find it on the web. Um, most of them are free, so you don't have to worry about that. And we believe that self-learning is not an easy thing. So just our recommendation is not to give up and follow these instructions, be flexible, and don't worry about too much about the progress.
A little progress each day adds up to big results. And that will be all. Thank you so much. At the end, you can see your references.
Thank you so much. Well, and that will be it.